The targets of the Socialist Party and Pedro Sanchez's dirty network were judges, prosecutors, and civil guard officers. Let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome to a new edition of Precautionary Measures with Miguel Ángel Pérez. Today we're going to close the loop on Pedro Sanchez's dirty network. And we're going to review the last part of the order by the National Court Judge Santiago Pedraz, who is investigating this case within the framework of the CEPI scheme. And we're going to detail, just as it says in the order, all the targets of Pedro Sanchez's dirty network, all the targets. Directly from the Prime Minister, the people he wanted to destroy because they were investigating his family, his wife, his brother, his party, his government, his ministers, etc. Everything tied to the Sanchez camp. We're going to share that order on screen, as we always do. But before anything else, remember to subscribe to the Medidas Cautelares channel with Miguel Ángel Pérez, because we're already going full speed ahead. And you already know that the goal is to reach 150,000 and now we're going to share it. Let's put on screen, as we always do, that order from the National Court Judge Santiago Pedraz to review who Pedro Sanchez's dirty network was targeting. Attention. A. One of the lines developed targets the prosecutor José Grinda, both because of his own actions and because of the public function they expected from him, as well as considering him a means to obtain information that could affect the chief prosecutor of the Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office, Alejandro Luzón. Taking into account the elements gathered in the course of this case, the organization under investigation made an offer to this prosecutor to carry out certain actions, including the dismissal of various court cases under his responsibility or providing information about Alejandro Luzón. All of this in exchange for a job abroad, including a financial incentive with notes referring to the amount of 300,000 euros. Thus, in one of the notebooks seized from Lear, a handwritten note was found mentioning 300,000 euros to help a prosecutor who has a problem with a minor. To make this offer, the organization relied on someone outside of it, Pérez Rusiñol, who allegedly met with Prosecutor Grinda and conveyed the offer, which took place on February 27, 2025. Regarding the truth of this matter, and beyond Grinda's own testimony, it is known that Pérez Dolcet sent Lere Rusiñol's contact information the night before the meeting, and that after the meeting took place, Rusiñol sent Lere a message in which, using veiled language, he informed her of the outcome. There was no water, at least for the time being. Another specific action is related to the Civil Guard commander Rubén Villalba, who is under investigation for the alleged crimes of membership in a criminal organization, bribery, and money laundering. Lere held 2 meetings with him during March 2025. After these meetings took place, the commander prepared 2 reports that are included in the proceedings and in which he recorded the content of these meetings. Regarding the offers made to this commander, the content of one of the reports stands out, when he states that he received a proposal suggesting that I should forget about paying for the new defense, that they would make sure I regained the professional career I had and would place me in positions of maximum responsibility after the purge they would carry out. From the above, regardless of other concurrent legal or factual considerations, the economic significance of the offer is evident. As for the requests made to this public official, in general terms, they fall within what Commander Rubén Villalba himself refers to in his own documents as trying to dismantle the civil guard. At another point, he specified that Lear asked him to pass on any information he had about Prosecutor Grinda as well as about the commanders of the UCO. Specifically about Lieutenant Colonel Balas and Bonilla, including the current DAO, and about Lieutenant Colonel Basilio Luis Sánchez Portillo, who was involved in Operation Catalonia. Finally, the note made by Villalba is revealing of Lere's intentions, in which he records that the proposal he makes to me is that the National Police take my statement as a protected witness to testify against the Civil Guard and specifically against the UCO, their commanders as well as Lieutenant Colonel Corbil and Lieutenant Colonel Basileo. C. Another line of action involved Prosecutor Ignacio Estampa to achieve their objectives. In this specific case, Lere X and Javier Peredol Sedman had a meeting with him on May 7, 2025, as well as a later conversation, in this case involving only Lere. During this, the prosecutor was offered professional matters, such as his return to the Special Prosecutor's Office against Corruption and Organized Crime, as well as personal matters, such as interceding in a certain lawsuit that the prosecutor still had pending. D. Under the so-called Hydrocarbons line of inquiry, there is a meeting with Civil Guard Captain Juan Sanchez Yepes. He is also under investigation in a judicial proceeding in this area. Lair, Peredol Sedita, and Gelo took part in it. The meeting took place on December 10, 2024, and the case file includes a recording of it. In it, you can see how the captain of the Civil Guard, previously assigned to the UKO, he admits sharing secret information about the UKO structure and members, despite knowing it's classified. He says the composition, operations, and names are legally secret, and if revealed, he'd be exposed and ruined. It's stated on the ID card. Having previously mentioned that all these secrets, I am committing the crime of disclosing confidential information. Despite that, he responds to requests from Lere Diaz, informing her about so-called hydrocarbons, where the UCO is located, even providing information about a meeting held by the captain with its members. Finally, he focused his attention and consequently, especially from this moment on, the Guardia and the Yepes organization. The lieutenant colonel leading the UCO's Department of Economic Investigation and Anti-Corruption. As a result of this meeting, the lieutenant colonel became one of the main targets of the group. This situation led, among other things, to a second meeting, this time with the businessman also under investigation, Alejandro Hamlin, where they tried to dig deeper and gather more information about this person. E. In addition to the aforementioned, all of whom are public officials, the organization under investigation also focused its actions on María del Carmen Pano. They allegedly offered her an amount estimated at 50,000 euros with the aim of altering or influencing her witness statement. The starting point of this action is that Carmen Pano had stated at the police station that 90,000 euros in cash had been delivered at the PSOE headquarters. This information reached the media and, consequently, the suspects became aware of it. Later, Pano was summoned to testify again, this time in court just a few days before her death. After her statement, Ismael Oliver got in touch with Lera, making it clear to her that the statement was important and that it was necessary to negotiate with her. It's important, and I can handle the negotiation if you want. Giving Lera his approval, he said, negotiate it, if you can, do it. After getting Lera's authorization, both of them start talking about the details of what they call the negotiation. It is evident from the wording of the conversation that their intention might be to carry out what they call their commitment. This one is for sale, we need to know how to buy. From the remaining elements in the case, it can be inferred from the available indications that this offer was made in the amount of 50,000 euros and carried out through Leticia de la Hoz. Both from this offer and from the one made to Prosecutor Grinda, it would be evident that Lera had access to funds for this criminal purpose. F. The last of the actions mentioned is the one related to the claim that the immigrants would have also carried out actions apparently aimed at disturbing the normal functioning of the UKO's work in various judicial proceedings in a variety of ways, by filing successive complaints regarding their actions before the Attorney General's office, to which they immediately gave publicity through national media outlets, making the derogatory and contaminating label of the patriotic UKO take root, raising suspicion about their actions before the Director General of the Civil Guard, which led to the opening of separate confidential internal inquiries. Among the alleged actions was the possible leak of compromising WhatsApp messages between Ábalos and other prominent members of his party, which were published in the press and were known for certain to have been released by him. Collected personal and confidential information secret by law about the officers who were involved in the aforementioned investigations, in order to look for compromising information about them that could lead to their neutralization. Well, there you have it. The truth is, it really makes your blood run cold to see this criminal organization. Totalmente, completely embedded, integrated into the government of Spain, in the Socialist Party, and whose objective was to follow the orders of Pedro Sánchez. and to go after judges, prosecutors, civil guards, anyone who dared to investigate his circle, his relatives, his party colleagues, his ministers. This is what we have leading the government of Spain, and for the good of the Spanish people, let's hope that this corrupt clique called Sanchismo ends as soon as possible. That's all for this edition of Precautionary Measures with Miguel Ángel Pérez. If you enjoyed the video, please leave your comments and opinions. Don't forget to share the video with whoever you want, family, friends, co-workers, with whoever you like. The important thing is that this gets seen, that it gets seen a lot, so everyone finds out about all the abuses and wrongdoings of Pedro Sánchez's government. And also, you can make contributions, support this Medidas Cautelares community with Miguel Ángel Pérez, this channel that all of you are a part of. Becoming members at the chosen level for less than €3 a month or at the supreme level for less than €7 a month, you already know that we are already more than 100 members. Thank you all very much for being there and also for your contributions via Bizum financial support. Each one gives what they can, when they want, to the number 6 27 55 63 70 6 27 55 63 70. The most important thing, as I always tell you, is that this information reaches everyone, because information is power. See you soon.